This is incredible. This is what the Bay Circuit Trail is all about. Beautiful.
So the Bay Circuit Trail is a 230-mile trail that goes from here, Kingston Bay, on the south shore of Mass, and it loops around Boston and ends at Plum Island on the north shore. It's not super well known. How did you find out about it?
Yeah, there's a great friend named Google, and when you search like I try to search for long trails and paths and whatnot in New England. I think I stumbled upon it as well through the fastest no time, so like the FKT website. So I saw it pop up there, and I'm like, oh, other people have done this. Okay, cool. And you kind of followed it away.
Do you want to talk about the day of your race and like all of the community that came out to support you?
Yeah, it's kind of funny coming back here because it was really just as peaceful as it is now, you know? So the whole start of it was kind of like very melodramatic in terms of like there's not like some huge band here like playing music and like all this stuff and a big huge archway that's like, and that's the beauty of the FKTs is it's really kind of like you're doing something really big and audacious and challenging, and it's really just you and your community, your local people that are there in the moment. I had a group of people that were kind of like we had like our pacers that were kind of like planned ahead of time, but what really surprised me was just once I got to some of the sections kind of in Andover and past Concord, there was just people coming out of the woodwork left and right, and one of the reasons why I do these types of runs too is definitely to inspire kids, inspire the future, and so that anytime that I see parents with their kids handing me a blueberry scone and a road crossing, and when I'm coming across the trail or there's another father and his two daughters ran with me kind of past Lowell as it was getting dark. I've been ultra running for a long time, since 2012, and pretty much my wife's been kind of my she's been crewed me through so many different races and in snow blizzards and a snowshoe ultra that we did and bonds and all around the country, all around the world. But yeah, so we've always had this idea in our mind, and this year her and two other business partners of hers kind of created this crewing business. Because what we realized was that there's a great opportunity to, one, grow the running community. You don't have to be a runner to be involved in the running community. That's something that this business is trying to prove. So Ashley, Brittany, and Kelsey are kind of the three women-led, women-owned business called Chaos Create Company, and that started this year. One of the things that's really cool about this trail is that you're able to get sheer wilderness here. It feels when you're in the woods, you're in the woods. It doesn't feel like you're in a town or anything like that. Even the town forests, they're pretty, you go into them and they're pretty expansive. And that's something that surprised me. I thought I'd just pop into the woods for a second and pop right out, and that's not the case at all. You're in there for miles and miles, and you're like, wow, this is insane. And yeah, so I think one of the beautiful parts about this trail is that, one, it's easy to get to. If you live in Boston, you can take transit, so you can take the T trains out. But also, even if you're living in the local communities, you can drive to the trailheads pretty easily. What the Bay Circuit Trail Alliance has created is really this it is its own trail. It exists on its own. There's other offshoots that are different trails that are a part of these different natural resources and areas that we have. But it is a continuous footpath, which is even cooler. I'm forever grateful to be able to get to run on this trail, and definitely am a major advocate for this trail. In a way, it's kind of like our long distance version of Central Park.
Yeah, you said one of your mantras is distance is just a number, right? Do you live by that in all aspects of your life, more or less?
I think it's become more of that for sure. wasn't always the case. I remember even like when I first got into organized running, I'm like, man, 2 miles is so long, and it's like, I hate doing this.
Look at you now.
Yeah, and it's like I never imagined that I'd be doing these things, but I think, yeah, once it kind of like happens, and you kind of like catch the bug, and you're kind of like, there's something here. Like there's something that I also attribute value from. When you put yourself out there, like you're opening yourself up to just like the realm of possibility, and also like just be more in tune with our natural world, which I am a big believer that we need to spend more time outside. Instead of being cramped up behind 4 walls, kind of like push those walls out and really like be out there,
Nice to be out here.
Yeah. When I do a lot of these projects, I try to find like something that can kind of like motivate me also, and also kind of my game plan and kind of help support others, because that's what this is all about. It's really about trying to make a difference, make an impact, and inspire the future, and then hopefully be able to help people in need too. So I kind of came upon this whole food recovery side of things. So Kelsey is one of our kind of like co-business owners with Chaos Crewing. She is very, very highly involved with food recovery, and it's a student-led organization, so they have chapters across different universities, and it started out of some students being like, well, where does the cafeteria food go? And so that's where it began, is trying to take that food that is nutritious and of good value, and rather than just throwing it away, repurposing it, finding a new home for it. It's kind of like, what's the next? That's probably a good question in terms of where things go. But definitely, I know for me, like I want to continue working with you all and kind of help to be as best of a voice of this whole trail experience. And hopefully this summer there will be a lot more people out on the trail getting to experience it themselves. And definitely for not just for one, I want local people in the Boston area to be like, hey, this goes right by my house. Like, and that's what people were realizing when I was doing this run. They're like, oh, I can just walk out from my front door and it's right there. It's like, yeah, like, and you've never been on this trail before. It's like you're missing out, And so that's one. I hope more people in the local New England community, whether they live around Boston or if they live in Maine, if they live in Vermont, like come on down and experience this.